Hi again, welcome to the workshop. This is Chess-Based Workshop. I'm Steve Lopez. Thank you for clicking the link and joining us for this presentation today. I'm going to answer a question today that gets asked a lot, and I don't know why, because it's right there in the software. People just have a hard time finding it. One of the questions I get asked all the time: how do you set up a position in Fritz? It's not hard to do, and there's a big old button for it, but for some reason people have a hard time finding it. When you're in the main chessboard view of Fritz, this is normally what you see. You have menus up here at the top. If you click on the Insert menu and click Position Setup, it'll take you right to that spot. There's also a shortcut for it, which is the letter S. If you hit S on your keyboard, it comes up as well, as I've just done here. Or, again, click the Position Setup button, and it brings it up. Now, we were talking about endgame table bases in the last chess-based workshop, so we're going to show you how to set up an endgame position so you can practice it against Fritz, so you can practice your endgame technique. Now, I've made jokes over the years about how it's such a shortcut for chess authors to get to a certain point in the game and go, and the rest is a matter of technique. And I think in some cases it is kind of a dodge. They just got tired of writing or didn't know how to do the ending. But in a lot of endgames, it is a matter of technique. You have to know how to play that ending or it doesn't get played properly, and you can either draw a game or even lose one by playing the endgame wrong. So you need to practice endgames. Fritz gives you a wonderful tool to do that in Position Setup. So once you've either clicked the Position Setup button or hit the letter S on your keyboard, you get this. If you want an endgame, just click Clear Board, and it wipes everything off the board. Notice we still have algebraic coordinates, so we know which side of the board is which. What this is your box of pieces. You just click on a piece, click on the board, and there's your piece. Notice that that's a left click. You couldn't see it, but if you click on a piece and then left click on the board, it'll put the piece there. Notice your cursor, mouse cursor, changes to reflect the piece that you're putting on the board. That's to help keep you organized. If you right click, it will put the opposite colored piece on the board. And if you click again with the left mouse button, it'll be whatever the cursor says. And if you click again, it'll take it away. So if you put like say I put the white king down here on the wrong square, I click on it again, click over here, put it on the correct square. You just click, put what you want on the board. Notice that you cannot set up an illegal position unless it is a alternate variant chess game, like a chess 960 game or some other variant. Fritz does allow you to do that. But I'm going to look here just at legal position setups. In a regular chess game, meaning Fritz is set up, you click the new game for a regular game of chess, not a variant chess, you can't put an illegal position on the board. It won't let you do it. A couple buttons down here, white and black. You set up a partial position. Click this button, it'll flip it over the other side of the board. Basically, it's a mirror image between white and black by clicking this button. Or you can go from king side to queen side, just flip the board from one side to the other this way. So it's kind of a shortcut key. What we were looking at, though, we were looking at endgames, very simple endgames. For example, king and queen against king and a rook. So if I wanted to practice this endgame, I could set this up. If it was a position out of a game somewhere, I could type in a move number down here, but I don't need to do that. It's just going to be a practice thing that I would play. Side to move, very important. Make sure that if it is white's turn to move, you have white selected. If it's black's turn to move, have black selected. Okay, I can't tell you the number of times I've set up a position, been in a big rush, and it was black to move, and I forgot to set it on here, and then I just have to go back. It's actually pretty simple because position setup will always bring whatever's on the main chessboard over into this view, and just click white instead of black, but still, it's an extra step I didn't have to take if I'd have been paying attention. So do pay attention to side to move. Also, in this position, castling obviously is not going to be possible, but if you're setting up a position where you have kings on their original squares, rooks on their original squares as well, and you're setting up a position from whether it's from an actual game or whether it's a made-up position that you just want to do for practice, make sure that you let the program know whether it's legal for white or black to castle. I can't do it here, obviously, but if the kings and rooks were on their original squares, I could pick one or all of these boxes to show that white or black could castle. When you're done, all you have to do then is click the OK button. And there's your position. And you're all set to play. I can make a move here and begin to play out a game against Fritz to test my endgame technique. Very important to do. You can play endgames against Fritz, and I suggest, despite one of our authors did a disc on endgames where he gave you endgames to practice, and he told you to turn the table bases off to practice endgames. And I kind of disagree with that. I like to have the best possible play against Fritz, because if my technique is wrong, I want to know about it. You know, this endgame should be winnable for white. Not every single time, but in most cases, white should win this endgame. So it's best for me to practice against Fritz with Fritz not making mistakes. That way, if I can't do it, it'll be frustrating, but I'm going to learn very quickly that something is amiss with my endgame technique in this endgame, and it's time to go hit the books. But the main thing I want to show you is how to set up a position using the Fritz software. You can either click Position Setup, which is under the Insert tab, and it's a big button. It's right here. You can't miss it. But for some weird reason, some kind of gypsy curse or something, everybody seems to not be able to find that button. So there it is, under Insert, Position Setup, or you can just hit the S key on your keyboard, as I will do here, and bring it up. And note, as I mentioned before, that if there is a position on the main chessboard, it will be automatically brought into the Position Setup dialog. And if you don't want it, just click Clear Board to wipe everything off the board. Then go to your box of pieces. Here's a tough one. Click OK, and now you can practice the endgame. Very simple. The procedure for setting up a position. The endgames may not be that simple, but I guess that's what you're going to find out. Till next time, for Chess Base Workshop, I'm Steve Lopez. Thanks for watching. Please do have fun.